This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by the Daily Herald.
I am here at Metea Valley with Coach Whaley of the girls soccer team. Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
So I want to start with the last couple games. You guys got off to a pretty good start to the season, but a couple of tough one-goal losses to two very good teams, Neuqua and Naperville North. What do you like about what you've seen so far with this team and even the last couple of games? Not coming out with the wins, but still competing very close.
Yeah, I think, we've had good losses and bad losses, I guess, score-wise, tight games and not so tight games in the past, and kind of gotten used to dealing with those.
Mm-hmm.
And, none of them really concerned me too much. But these last couple, I think the girls, were really anxious to get out on the field and win big games like that. But it was a tight game, and you're going up against good teams, and there's nothing guaranteed in this game. So, it's nice to see that we're competing at a high level, but no doubt, I think we're all anxious to figure out ways to squeak out those 1-0 wins instead of, take it on the other end of that. So,
do you see a higher ceiling for this team this year than you have in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, when you have a group of girls that have been around for a couple years and you can spend a little bit more time coaching different things and tactics and strategies that maybe we weren't able to do before just because of the lack of experience. Mm-hmm. It really helps. And so, a lot of girls, they might be trying a new position or something along those lines, but at least they've been around and we know them personally, they know us personally, and you're not really stuck trying to figure that stuff out, and you can kind of focus on the soccer and, the stuff to help us get to that next level.
When did you find out Nikki was going to join the team?
Nikki and I have known each other for a while. I was an assistant coach when she was a freshman on the team, and I got to know her really well. I've had her in class, in math class, and I've always stayed in touch with her family, and they're just really a great family, and she's a great kid. And so I've known for a while, as long as she's known for the most part. Yeah, it's nice, just to see kids that have been in the program that come back and want to be a part of it.
Now, with her and Jade up front, have you noticed any different ways teams have played you this year as opposed to last year?
Yeah, there's no secrets, no surprises really. For the most part, everybody's familiar with the girls, and, there's a lot of man marking and, a lot of attention. And, as coaches, we try to do what we can to help the players just kind of adapt a little bit. But, Jade kind of said it, and that is that, we just have to focus on us and play our game. And really what it comes down to sometimes is, winning some of those one-on-one battles, but also relying a little bit more on your teammates and trusting your teammates a little bit. And that's kind of what can separate you from some of the tough competition out there.
Now, as a coach, I want to ask you this, and it's tough way to word it, but with the neighborhood schools being so competitive every year, is it tougher, do you think, to play them every single year and knowing what they have and how good they are and what players are their top players, or do you think it's easier because you know what to expect? Do you think it's tougher as a coach, I mean?
Well, first off, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there are programs or coaches out there that maybe have a little bit of a different philosophy. Mine has always been that I want to make my schedule as tough as we can. I want to play the best, and of course, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yep.
So, I'd say I'm excited and glad that I'm in an area that really embraces girls soccer, and the level of competition is so high that there's really no guarantees. And I wouldn't want that any other way. So, does it get frustrating at times that, in order to get out of your sectional, you've constantly, every year after year, you've got to beat teams like Naperville North and Waubonsie and Neuqua, all these teams that have been around and have a history of winning state titles and everything. Sometimes I wish that wasn't always the case. It's a tough road, but I've embraced it. The girls have embraced it, more importantly, and they know what it takes.
Now, the question about the sectional, getting out of the sectional final, what do you think this team needs to do differently as opposed to the last couple of years to get out of that?
Really, it's not about doing anything differently because, the last couple of years, at least since I've been here, the girls know that the whole season is a process, a journey of growing and getting better. And so that doesn't change. No matter if you go undefeated throughout your season or if you're 500, you're always finding ways to improve and grow as a team. So the reality is nothing really needs to change. Now, as a coach, of course, I'm trying to do things a little bit differently just to make sure that the girls are prepared for that. And I think that we were such a young program for a while that I don't know how high their expectations were for a while. And so what we've definitely done is built a culture that has high expectations.
I was about to say, you kind of led me to my next question. Was your goal here to build that type of culture that you're expected to always be at the top no matter what?
Yeah. I don't know that it's anything revolutionary, but as a teacher and as a coach, I think we always see the potential in kids, and at times it gets frustrating, but really in the end you see that a lot of times kids in general, they underachieve. They never really reach their true potential, and that's something that we've talked a little bit with the girls about, is that maybe you think you're giving 100% but you're really giving 80, or in the classroom even it's the same way sometimes. But just trying to inspire kids a little bit to really reach beyond what they see as their perceived potential and reach their true potential.
Where do you think you get your coaching philosophies from? Do you have mentors you looked up to?
Yeah, I've had some great coaches over the years. My high school coach was very demanding, and my high school team played at a pretty high level, reached in state finals and all that stuff. When I reached the college level, I had coaches that went on to coach in the MLS, and I've had that. I've had great parents that have always really inspired me to. I think I was the first one in my family to go get a college education, and my parents have always kind of set us up to be successful in that way. And as a kid, I wouldn't say I was always I was never the overachiever, but there were times when people spoke the truth to me and inspired me and gave me the desire to be better than I was. Yeah.
Looking ahead to just kind of more into the season with Amy and Jade being your captains, what have you seen out of them that you've liked a lot this year, kind of leading this team?
Yeah, Abby. Abby's one of our captains.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Jade,
Sorry,
that's okay. Abby and Jade are great kids, and Abby's been around for a while. Her sister was in the program, and so, they understand, and they have a really good perception of just the realities of being on a varsity soccer team in a school like this, and the fact that they can pass that on a little bit to some of the younger kids, I think, is you couldn't ask for better kids. Abby this week got named Athlete of the Month, and she had a good start with a goal and a couple assists and all that. But really, what it comes down to is she just has a great attitude and a great work ethic, and Jade does as well. And they want nothing but the best for the team.
Do you talk to the captains that you named before the year individually and tell them what you expect out of them before the year?
Well, the biggest thing is the girls pick the captains.
Okay.
Obviously I have a role in that, but it's really about just preparing them, and you can hear it from Jade in that when you get older and you get more mature, and you start to understand things a little bit clearer, and you understand that there's more responsibilities that come with that, and she's really embraced those responsibilities. And she's not a very vocal kid usually. In fact, she shies away a lot from the camera, and she doesn't like to talk about how many goals she's scored or anything like that. And you need kids like that are super unselfish and prioritize the team, and that's what really makes some good leaders.
Now, you've had a goalkeeper that's been a starter for, I guess, if you just count the rest of this year, 3.5 years, correct?
Yeah.
What's that like, having such an experienced goalkeeper for her final year and with such a talented team?
Yeah, there's always positions or players on the field that you're not concerned about, but maybe they're trying out a new position, or maybe it's just their first time on varsity or whatever the case is, and the goalkeeper is always the tough one, because you got to have somebody back there that can lead and be reliable. And Amy's been around long enough that she knows what we expect from her, and she's really aggressive, and she can distribute the ball with her feet, and she's been a part of some really good club soccer teams over the last couple of years, and she's really grown as a player just over the last couple of years, and it's great to have somebody that we can count on back there. But all over we have lots of competition. Players young girls that are pushing players. We've got a couple young freshman goalies that are definitely, they're pushing Amy to be better and pushing each other to be better. So that's what's really important.
What's your favorite part about this team this year? It doesn't have to be necessarily skill or talent-wise, but just about the team.
These seniors they're goofy, and I think, you don't always say that about a group of seniors. Every senior team kind of has, or group of seniors has their own personality. But over the years we've had some girls that are always pretty serious or whatever, and this group's pretty goofy. I mean, you walk into the room, in the not the locker room, but the classroom we meet in before the game, and they're just doing things where you just want to just kind of let them be and goof off and have fun and be relaxed. And I guess, we're going to miss them because they're a lot of fun personalities. Yeah.
Keeps the team loose.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Now, last thing I want to ask you is, playing at the college level, especially in Division I level, is such a hard thing to do. It doesn't just have to be the D1 level, all of them. It's tough to play in college, any sport. But how satisfying is it for a coach to send them off and knowing they're going to play in college, some of them?
Yeah, I think there's a sense of responsibility that, me and my assistant coaches, Coach Robinson and Bostic, both played at the Division I level as well. And, there's a sense of responsibility that we have to prepare them for that. And, not that we're doing too much differently, but, I've had conversations on the side about, where our fitness needs to be and different things like that. Because when they leave here, you want them to understand the game a little bit better, of course. You want them to be physically prepared for that change, because they're going to go from being seniors to being freshmen real quick. And we definitely want them to send them away prepared for the whole experience. Adjusting to the college experience is hard, and you want kids that can go there and be responsible and be able to handle it well.
Do you think you'll go watch them at all, if you can?
Oh yeah. For sure.
Close.
It might be hard to root for Michigan when Nikki's there, being an Ohio State guy, but no, just nonetheless, it's I always try to keep an eye on the girls, and it's with social media now, it's super easy to keep in touch with girls that have gone on to play, and it's part of the joys of being a coach is seeing girls grow and continue to do that.
Your dream is Michigan, Ohio State tie 3-3, Nikki all 3 goals.
yeah, something like that.
Good. Well, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the way, and hopefully this weather stays like this.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Appreciate it.